little baby up here. Yeah, this little guy is super old now. I'm not to return him to the retirement home. Days are numbered, son. Ladies and gentlemen, fucking box is gonna fall. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to do a special kind of video again. I'm on the face. What do you call this? I should really have a name for these. The IRL videos. You mean bad news and talking about really shitty stuff, and unfortunately that was the case for I think most of the time when I do stuff like this. This is actually a more exciting one of something I've been wanting to do, but now it's the perfect time to strike because some pretty big news happened that pretty much makes it the right time to start talking, discussing, go for the cake, make the right call, make the right strike. It's time to strike. Ladies and gentlemen, we are officially about to enter the 9th generation. We're getting this close to that opening door, that opening night, La Noche Buena. We're about to enter as Microsoft has been the first one to make it in with the Xbox Series X. I literally was taking a nap a good hour ago. I'm not even making this up. I was taking a nap, seeing, what's on YouTube right now? I was supposed to go to the gym, and the Xbox Series X is a thing now. Wow, that was fucking quick. It's crazy what happens when you oversleep a little bit. You miss so many things. Well, what's next? World War III happened? Is Mark Hamill, is Carrie Fisher still alive? That'd be awesome. That'd be nice. Please, I miss you. In all seriousness, yes, the Xbox Series X is now officially a thing. Interesting title. First off, can we just go in? I know a lot of people are not a fan of it. Fair play. I think I agree with it, honestly. I think I'm more leaning on that side. Even as soon as I saw that, I was like, wait, is this a joke? Like, is that real? Like, even though it was a few seconds of that thought, a few seconds for me is already dangerous enough to feel like, this doesn't seem legit. This seems like it's going to confuse people. I've always been on that boat ever since the Wii U era. Clearly, I'm a big nerd when it comes to how video games work and a lot of the industry. And learning so much about the failures of the Wii U, I always kept thinking, man, that name really fucked it up. Aside from all the other things that helped fuck it up. But one of the biggest confusions was just the name itself. It made no sense. It felt like it was an upgrade and related to the actual Nintendo Wii somehow. And it was like supposed to be an extension or an add-on for it. It confused a lot of people. The name did not help to be related, and it just seemed useless. Aside from that, what really gets me excited and thinking about all this is, and obviously this was at the Game Awards. This is going to help with the point I'm trying to make. And Phil Spencer came out. He's a legend. It's obvious. It's never debate. He was amazing. The way he talked about some of the new games coming out, I saw some of the trailers. Immediately, I was watching all this after a report of Review Tech USA. So if you want a more detailed and clearly more intelligent and prepared version of a video like this, go watch. I'll try to link him if possible. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for that. No, I shouldn't get. I'm linking him. I'm not stealing anything, right? Hopefully, I'm gonna shut up. But yeah, no. My point is that he explains a lot more of how Phil Spencer came out on the conference or for the Game Awards and started talking about this new thing, and he talked specifically about another game of a company they bought out a few years ago so they can make games for them, and how the footage they're about to show is non-fake. Trailer footage, non-CG footage. All in-game engine footage, all stuff that you're actually going to be able to experience. They didn't overhype this, and goddamn, whoa! 4 or 5 years ago, people were just talking about the excitement of how the next generation, or even our new modern consoles now, are pushing already more and more this envelope to look hyper realistic on the way the graphics look and how detailed the shading is looking for games. The Last of Us, just how incredibly just balls to the wall, insanely realistic the game is looking. We're getting to that point where it's almost going to the uncanny valley, and I think they made it. Look, I might be exaggerating, but if they're not lying, and Phil Spencer is not known to be the one to just bullshit you, I really am convinced that that might generally be one of the games, at least. Obviously, most launch games aren't really, the easiest thing to just prove that, oh, look, you see, this is the peak of gaming. It usually takes time, but if that's already what we're going at, this might be the generation that starts reaching that uncanny valley. And I'm actually pretty excited to see how we start dealing with that. And that's what I'm really looking forward to and excited. And that's what makes me think about the most, if you pay attention to what I mentioned there, which I want to talk about. A lot of time and legacy. And how fast time is changing. That's the one thing that got me thinking the most, tripping out. Just for context, I'm going to be 18 years old soon. I know. Oh my god, I'm so young. And I was 10 years old when... Am I going No, that's a lie. I was 11. I'm pretty sure I was 11 or about to be 11 years old when the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One got announced for the first time back in E3 of 2000. No, it was just their own press conferences. E3 was later. So just in their own Sony and Microsoft press conferences. The Wii U was already out. The Wii U was doing its own weird fucking thing. I I will never forget how I couldn't believe, even my own cousins talking about it. Like, we just couldn't believe the fact that we're going to live in a world where the PS4 was a thing and PS3 was now becoming outdated because we grew up with that thing like our whole lives. My whole childhood or early childhood years were revolving around the Wii, the Xbox 360, the PS3. That was my world. That was everything when it comes, especially when you're a kid and, you know, video games or entertainment is all you look at, especially someone like me that clearly wants to have a career out of it. You know, that's everything that I revolve around, the movies and video games of that time. So it just was insane to me to believe that PS3 was going to be outdated soon and PS4 was the future. And everything that would come out. I mean, look at my box here. Remember when I uploaded? Anyone who's like watching my videos for this long, remember when I first got this? Yeah, I still kept this thing. This is the original box. Nothing. The actual, like, I'll prove it right now. The tape is still cut in there. The original box. So then nothing has been removed aside from, I think, one instruction manual in a different language. And oh shit, the box is trying to fall. No, stay right here, buddy. Come on. And the game codes. I'm pretty sure for the little Battlefront games that come with it, the Star Wars games that included it. I'll still never forget that night. It was a night of November of 2015. It was an early Christmas present. My mom got me a surprise. I was just so unbelievably excited. I wanted to get Battlefront for the PS4. I wanted to try Black Ops 3 because we thought this might be the one to save it since Black Ops was coming back. And what else? What else was the big hype at that time? I'm trying to remember. The Walking Dead wasn't coming out yet. That was next year. It was really just those. Yeah, that's the big stuff I was looking forward to. I was like, I really want to try these out so bad. This is it. I want a next-gen console. Mom surprised me that day. We go to GameStop. She takes out $80. She's like, take care of this well. Better not be screwing around after this. Because, you know, it was the first time I was having, like, my own, aside from my PS3 and Wii, but I was lended to by family. It was like a hand-me-down, pretty much. Aside from the PS3, I believe. This was the first one that was going to be my own thing. Like, I was pretty much buying this with most of my own money. So it was like, you know, don't mess around, don't screw around in school, still focus, have fun, have all the fun you can with this little thing. I picked it up. I'll never forget that. I still have pictures. I don't know. I'm probably not going to put that. You don't want to see those. Me picking it up. I uploaded that video. I remember it was an update video when I still did those things. So I thought update vlogs were cool because PewDiePie did them. So why not? And I saw it. And my God, I still remember that. That was already going to be soon a good 5 years ago. That is insane how much time flew. I was still in 8th grade. Middle school is my world. I lived in a different house. Yeah, if people haven't noticed, I lived in a different house. I went to a different school. My best friends were still there. The Force Awakens was just coming out. Do I have a copy? I want to show that. Hell yeah. I own this copy still, and I unboxed it on YouTube. I still have this. I'll never forget that. Force Awakens was coming out at that time. I was just so unbelievably excited. I had my ticket already by that point. That was my dad's or mother's gift that they pre-ordered the ticket for me. And it was just insane. It was such a different world back in 2015. Like, seriously, people don't realize that Trump wasn't president yet. Yeah, I'm getting political. Yeah, I just went there. Ooh, what? Trump wasn't president yet. The whole political discourse bullshit wasn't happening. People weren't trying to be so edgy or so fucking triggered or pretend that their side was the god and the other was the devil, you know. The good times, simpler times, almost. And imagine, you know, I'm the one already freaking out here being nostalgic over 5 years. I can only imagine someone like Review Tech USA, someone I love who has been gaming since his childhood back in the fucking 1980s, if I'm correct, he's talked about. Imagine him now looking back like 30, 40 years ago, back later. And it's like, holy shit, look at everything that's happened. Look at everything that's changed. How, literally, I still can't believe that, like, it's soon going to be weird to have to come with terms like this actually now, though I don't think they're fully going to go with it for this generation, but one thing I've been thinking about a lot is this might be the last generation truly to use discs. Like, this might, Blu-ray discs, this might be a weird thing now. Like, this might be the last attempt to ever go for discs. Digital might truly be the future. That's what weirds me out to think about because, you know, everything I use involved that. And, you know, people don't realize it until you lose it, I think as the saying goes. You don't realize how good you have it until you lose it. Not to say digital's bad, clearly. Fucking, I use Spotify, I use Netflix, I use Disney Plus. If you don't know, I want to do a video on that one day showing it off, or doing a review on it, what I think, but it would have been stupid. I'm not there yet. One day when I get more professional, clearly. But no, but like that's what I think about a lot, how things are changing, and I think that's one of the big changes I'm personally looking forward to see how well they handle that discless generation. No pun intended. And that's one thing I'm looking forward to, and that's an example of how things just completely changed in the span of 5 years. But either way, that's the legacy of these consoles, and that's one thing I'm really gonna miss of these guys. I was really happy and genuinely like proud that this was like my first generation I kind of grew up with. This is something I got to experience as I go. I got to do videos and talk about things, do videos and montages of my funny montages. Oh, God, it was so much fun of like games that were just coming out of that time that were popular known at that time that people were talking about, like BO3, Dead by Daylight, fucking Minecraft. Minecraft never got boring though, so like that was just a staple of the whole decade. But like games like now soon to be Modern Warfare, new videos coming out, what? Battlefront, all this stuff. Like even if it wasn't the greatest games of the whole decade, it still was a big part of the decade, and that's so cool to just think about. Like I got to live that and even do my little part in it with my whole YouTube thing I do. So that's a lot of fun that I love to think about so much. That it's the coolest part. It's the legacy, and I'm gonna miss that generally. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be really weird now to start seeing these as the past and these as the outdated system, which is really weird. Though, admittedly, that was a lot of things people complained about, including for me, when I started getting into, like, you know, the industry and how the world of gaming really works. And the consoles were already kind of outdated from the start. They didn't really push a lot of the limitations of the PS3 and Xbox 360. They just pushed the obvious things, updates in graphics, specs, which were still quite good, and PS4, you can't deny, was probably the one, at least for a while, that pushed it the most until the Xbox One X came into the picture. But even with those, they just don't really go for the grand potential that this generation could have had. Now they're going for what it seems that this Xbox Series X is going for next generation and beyond, and I seriously can't fucking wait. I know I didn't talk too much about it because there's not really much to talk about in the first place. It was just a teaser, and they showed off some games. But that's the one thing I get excited about. That's really what I think about this stuff. I don't kid around when I do these videos. I don't fake this stuff. These soon are about to be outdated. It's crazy. It was a long run PlayStation 4. I have fun with you. It's funny because this year I was literally planning on getting an Xbox, and I haven't shown you yet. I can take this little bad boy out. I already picked up a Nintendo. Oh shit! Almost dropped the guy. I already picked up a Nintendo Switch, so I'm kind of already pushing a little more, mainly because I'm able to get jobs now and work more and earn more cash. I do have a job now, but it's more from my mother. That's true. I'm gonna have to start thinking about getting a more serious job and more sustaining one if I want to start buying big stuff like the PS5 or maybe the Xbox Series X. Maybe it wins me over, or Nintendo does anything fucking crazy, releases like Switch 2. Maybe they're crazy at this point, so who knows? Either way, I'm excited for this journey. What do you guys think of the Xbox Series X? What do you think about the 9th generation? And what do you think of now looking back at Generation 8, the 8th generation of video games, or anything past? If you're older than that for some fucking reason, you're watching me, thank you. That means a lot. You know, what do consoles mean to you, and what are you doing now that if I gave you that opportunity to think and look back at what your experiences were with these things, how your life was back then? That's really what I want to do with this video. Guys, this was a very interesting kind of video I made. Honestly, I have so much fun doing this. I really want to talk about this. What do you guys think of the Xbox Series X? I'm generally like really curious because, like I said, there really isn't not much to talk about. There's a reason I'm going on rambling about this stuff. Like, you tell me anything I don't know, anything I didn't mention that I should have mentioned, any specs wise, any tea you want to spill that you know about secretly. If you work for Microsoft and watch my videos, that wouldn't be bad. I want to know. Give me some details so we can discuss some more. I want to hear more of what you think. What did you think about the 8th generation? I'm especially really curious to think about that. What do you think could have been improved, and what should they improve now for the big 9? Anyway, hope you guys have a lovely night. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful